Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. And today I'm going to talk to you about misuse of power, misuse of enforcement bodies, misuse of constitutional bodies. And what happens if a government start misusing these bodies? What happens to that country? Let's talk about that. That's my topic number one. My topic number two is about Rajya Sabha. Let's understand why was this Rajya Sabha created in the first place? The upper house, as it's called. Why is it created in the first place? And is it being used today by the political parties for the reason it was created? So those two are my topics. Let's get right into the show. A king does not become great because he has a lot of power. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was not called as a great king because he had a lot of power. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was called a great king because he was a fair king. Power doesn't make you great, but power and fairness, using that power fairly is what makes you great. Otherwise, you are a king. And at times, with a lot of power, if you don't use it fairly, you are called as a brutal king. Why am I giving you all this gyan? Let me come to the point directly. Satyendra Jain, the Delhi Power Minister, Satyendra Jain, was arrested by ED. This was a 5-year-old money laundering case. Good? Of course good. If he has laundered money, he should be arrested. इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है. ठीक है ना? If you come to Maharashtra, we have a lot of ministers in prison. In fact, we have quite a number of them. Nawab Malik, minister, inside prison. Why? Money laundering. Who arrested? ED arrested. Anil Deshmukh, allegedly corrupt. Now they say a lot of even evidences are there against him. Allegedly corrupt. Where is he? Prison. CBI, ED, everybody is after him. Good. I am not against any minister being picked up and put behind bars. That is good. So what if he is a minister? Same thing has happened in West Bengal. CBI raided Firhad Hakim, CBI raided Subrato Mukherjee in the Narda sting case. So yeah. I mean, if a politician is corrupt, he or she should be raided and he or she should be put behind bars if they find evidence, if there are reasons to put the person behind bars. But my question is, this gentleman called K.S. Ishwarappa from Karnataka was sacked. Why sacked? Because a contractor committed suicide. Why a contractor committed suicide? I had done a full show on that a couple of months back. Because it was known that this man wouldn't do, he was a PWD minister, he wouldn't give a contract to people without taking 40%. He was called the 40% minister. This is what is said. It is alleged. I don't know if it is true or not. So, he was removed as a minister. He was sacked as a minister. But the fact is, there is no CBI raid against him. There is no police case against him. There is no ED raid against him. Nothing. So, is it that CBI, ED, IT, everything against people who are non-BJP? Is that the way it is going to work now? Remember, I told you about a king who has got a lot of power, but if he is not using it fairly, then he is not a good king. Bharatiya Janata Party is a party with a lot of power, but if that power is not used fairly, then that is not a good government. Isn't this proving it? Why is Ishwarappa still out? Why is there no case against Ishwarappa? If he has been taking 40% and a person has committed suicide, saying that he was forced to give bribe, what are we talking about? The point that I'm trying to make here is, rule has to be the same for everybody. In a democracy like ours, if you have different rules for different people, one rule for one party, another rule for another party, then let us not kid ourselves. Let us stop calling ourselves a democracy. Let us call ourselves a dictatorship. Let us call ourselves that. And let us have a dictator. Let us not call that person a prime minister. We will call him a dictator. or a king or a his majesty or whatever, because that's the way it sounds. You can't, under the garb of democracy, can't have two laws for people of two different parties. Arrest corrupt politician, no doubt about it. But arrest corrupt politician, not arresting corrupt opposition wala politician. Apna wala politician, government wala politician, no arrest. Opposition wala politician, you arrest. Jump from the opposition, join the government, you will not be arrested. You are cleaned. All enforcement agencies goes away. How fair is that? How fair is that? That's the question I wanted to ask tonight. Think about it. And I really look forward for your comments. Tell me, what do you feel? And like I always say, please view my editorial in totality with what I say and what people comment, because a lot of you may not agree to me. So I want my viewers to see it both ways, all views. My views and maybe people who do not agree to me, their views. And that's precisely what I would like you to have. So let's get into my topic number 2, and that is Rajya Sabha. Let's get in. Let's first understand what is Rajya Sabha. You know, one of the best definition I got of Rajya Sabha was that Rajya Sabha is the safety valve of India's federal polity. It acts like a safety valve. The beautiful definition. I'll tell you what they mean by that. What they mean by that is, you see, Rajya Sabha is a body, is a house that revises, deliberates on what bills that are passed in the Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha mein the bill could be passed hastily. We have seen that. Bill could, we see that in Rajya Sabha also nowadays, so I'm not going to talk much about it, but all the same, bills may be passed hastily. What is Rajya Sabha supposed to do? Rajya Sabha is supposed to deliberate on that bill, revise on that bill, understand that bill, deep dive that bill, and possibly take a correct decision on that particular bill. So basically, it's a check. It's a check and balances. It's like a checks and balances. So a bill is passed from Lok Sabha and it goes for further deliberation with Rajya Sabha. Fantastic. Rajya Sabha is also a place where you have representation of women, religious minorities, ethnic minorities, linguistic minorities, groups. You know, all these groups, all representation which may not be necessarily represented in the right way and spirit in the Lok Sabha. That's why Rajya Sabha. A political party is supposed to nominate people to Rajya Sabha not for political favors or money, money. That's not why you are supposed to give a Rajya Sabha nomination to a person. You give Rajya Sabha nomination to a person so that Rajya Sabha is represented well by women, by ethnic groups, linguistic minorities, so on and so forth. Also, the nature of Rajya Sabha is that, you see, when the Lok Sabha has got the brute majority of a particular political party of the government of the day has brute majority in Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha acts like that valve, safety valve, which we spoke about. So that one party couldn't just change everything, change the constitution, change everything about the country. That's what Rajya Sabha is supposed to do. Now, is that what Rajya Sabha is doing today? Is a question I am not going to answer. You answer that question. Please write in the comment box below whether Rajya Sabha is doing that. The point is somewhere down the line, like I told you in the beginning of my editorial, this is why Rajya Sabha was created. But are we using it for that? Question mark. Possibly. My point of view is, no, we are not. Rajya Sabha has lost its essence. What it's supposed to do. I think political party should be mindful of that. Should be mindful of why Rajya Sabha was created and what and who are they nominating. So that's that. Till I see you next time. And that would be tomorrow at 10 p.m. Namaskar.